Good morning, everyone. Fill your cups. I'm drinking out of a paper cup in a hotel room this morning. But the coffee is just as good and just as strong. So talking about strong, I want to share with you a concept that I've been rolling around in my head since reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And it is the chapter called Becoming Uncommon Amongst the Uncommon. And this chapter in this book is what really sort of pulled the whole book together for me. And I just had all these light bulb moments. And when we talk about becoming uncommon, that means we are doing something that most other people aren't, I think. And setting goals and being focused on big picture, big life, big future, changing our actions, getting off the couch. Those are all things that most people aren't doing right now and aren't thinking about and aren't willing to do. And that's what makes us uncommon to begin with in this very moment. So David Goggins is a former Navy SEAL. So becoming a Navy SEAL, he was already in a group of uncommon people. But he had to find a way to be uncommon amongst the uncommon and really up his game in order to excel in his career and excel in his goals that he wanted for his life. And we have to find a way to stand out from the crowd and really push ourselves. And I thought about it this way. Like yesterday, I talked about finding your edge, because this week is sharpening me up like a steel blade, that's for sure. But I also think when it comes to becoming uncommon and doing uncommon things, you have to find your edge. And you have to find a competitive edge, because we're not striving for the mediocre anymore. We're striving for the best, and that requires us to become top performers and overachievers. And to go that extra mile and to do the things that nobody else is willing to do or nobody else is doing. So how do we go about doing those things and finding that motivation on a daily basis to really get out there and push towards these goals and not lose focus and not lose sight when life is trying to sidetrack us? And I think when I think about becoming uncommon, I think about being a top performer or being an overachiever, and not just doing something to get the job done, but getting it done, going that extra mile, going even a little bit further, and really being relentless in our pursuits, and not just wanting to be average, but having an innate drive inside of you to want to be the best or want to do better or want more. That's what's going to drive you to be an overachiever. And I think some of us are just naturally overachievers and top performers. You naturally go out there to be number one. And I'm an extremely competitive person, and I compete more with myself than with others because I'm always wanting to do better than I did before and wanting better results and expecting more out of myself. But I come from sales. That's my background. I started in sales a really long time ago. I actually did door-to-door sales. And if I did not perform, if I was not a top performer selling daily on 100% commission, I didn't eat that night. So I learned real quick the benefits of being a top performer. And all through my career, the top performers have been the most successful, most financially secure winners. And I once had a store manager a long time ago. I was so proud because we had such great success in an event, and we were second place. And I was proud of second place. And he looked at me and said, you know, Katie, second place is just first loser. And that moment has stayed with me 20 years. So becoming uncommon means not settling for second place. Not in our lives, not in our careers, not in what we're working on. In order to create the future of our dreams and go after these goals, we've got to be top performers. We've got to be overachievers. We've got to be uncommon. We're doing hard things. And this week has really proven to me how hard and how challenging it can be to stay positive, to stay focused on what's really important, to not let that urgent outweigh or sidetrack you. And we get pulled in so many different directions. But if we're writing our goals down and we're focused and we're pushing to be the very best that we can be, I think that's what makes us uncommon, and I think that's what makes us stand out, and I think that's what creates an overachiever and a top performer. And I want to be all of those things. Like, I want to be the Michael Jordan of all of this and follow his example and be a David Goggins and be strong and be powerful and be relentless in whatever it is that I'm doing on the daily basis. But that takes practice, it takes skill, and it takes focus. So it's Friday. We're supposed to be pushing to our maximum potential. Remember the 40% rule from earlier in the week. Top performers don't operate at 40%. Top performers operate at 100%, 100% of the time. That's what it takes to become uncommon and elevate our lives. We got to give it 100%, 100% of the time. So let's start with today. Kick up your investment, kick up your potential, kick up your percentage that you're contributing to your day to day. Can you be a top performer today? Can you be an overachiever today? How can we be uncommon? I think we can do it. I'm going to try today. So once you go out there, I'm not going to try, I'm doing. I'm getting that word try out of my vocabulary. But let's go out there and do it. Let's go out there and be great. All these words: relentless, greatness, edge, competition, top performer, overachiever. Use those words to motivate yourself to do something super awesome on Friday, right? And we'll check in with you tomorrow. Peace, guys.